Hare Krishna, dear devotees, Danvat Pranam. Please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. So, Narsimha Chaturdashi is coming up in a couple of days, and so we'll do a little bit of Narsimha Katha to prepare our consciousness for the appearance of Lord Narsimha. So, I'll just start with some prayers. Om Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya. Please feel free to chant.
Om Namo
Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya.
Om Namo Bhagavate Narsimhaya.
Namaste Jastejase Avir Bhava.
Namaste
Tejase Avir Bhava. Vajranakha Vajradamshtra Karmshayana.
Vajranakha
Vajradamshtra Karmshayana.
Karmshayana.
Randhai Randhai Tamo Grasa Grasa Om Swaha.
Randhai Randhai
Tamo
Tamo
Grasa Grasa Om Swaha. Abhyam Abhyam Atmani Bhuishta Om Shrama.
Abhyam Abhyam
Atmani Bhuvishta Om Shrama. I offer my respectful obeisances unto Lord Narsimha, the source of all power. O my Lord, who possesses nails and teeth just like thunderbolts, kindly vanquish our demon-like desires for fruitive activity in this material world. Please appear in our hearts and drive away our ignorance, so that by your mercy we may become fearless in the struggle for existence in this material world. This prayer is from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 5, 18.8. And please recite this also. Shri Narsimha, Jai Narsimha, Jai Jai Narsimha.
Shri Narsimha
Jai
Jai
Jai Narsimha,
Narsimha,
Jai
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 Narsimha.
Narsimha.
Praladesha Jaya Padma Mukha Padma Bringa.
Praladesha
Praladesha
Jaya
Jaya
Padma
Padma
Mukha
Mukha
Padma
Padma
Bringa.
Bringa. Ugram Veeram Mahavishnum Jwalantam Sarvatomukham. Ugram
Ugram
Veeram
Veeram
Mahavishnum
Mahavishnu
Jwalantam
Jwalantam
Sarvatomukham.
Sarvatomukham.
Narsimham Bhishanam Bhadram Mrityurmrityum Namamyaham. Narsimham
Narsimham
Bhishanam
Bhishanam
Bhadram
Bhadram
Mrityurmrityum
Mrityum
Namamyaham.
Namamyaham.
Hari Bol, Hare Krishna. So I'll start with one of our, very famous and the initial prayers that we learn when we come to Krishna consciousness is the Narsing Aarti. I believe I know that that's my first prayer or Aarti that I learned, other than Jai Radha Madhav, I think, when I started the journey in Krishna consciousness. And this prayer, if you know, I'm not going to go into the meaning of the whole prayer. There are so many lectures from very very advanced senior Vaishnava on this prayer. So please feel free to look them up on the YouTube about Narsingh Arti's meaning. But I just wanted to go into the history of that prayer a little bit, and then I've taken two words from that prayer to discuss their meaning. So, as you know, the prayer starts as
Namaste.
Namaste. Yeah. So it starts with Namaste Narsimhaya, right? Okay, Navya is being shy. I was trying to have her recite it. But yeah, so the initial part of the prayer, Namaste Narsimhaya, until Tav Kar Kamal Vare, right? That part of the prayer used to be sung by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually. He used to sing it to the Narsingh deities in Jagannath Puri. There are two deities in Jagannath Puri in the southern part of the temple. One is the Shant Narsimha, and behind the Shant Narsimha is the Ugra Narsimha. The Shant Narsimha's darshan is available for everyone, but Ugra Narsimha's darshan is not available unless upon special request from the pujari. So Lord Gauranga Mahaprabhu, he used to recite this prayer, Namaste Narsimhaya, pura ye prayer. He used to say it to Narsimha every day. So that only until that part, and then the rest of the part from Tavkar Kamal Vare Nakham Adbhut Shringam. That part comes from Jaydev Goswami's prayer, Jaydev Goswami's Dashavatara Stotra. Okay. As we know that he has glorified all the 10 main incarnations of Lord Vishnu, of Krishna, in that prayer of Dashavatara Stotra. Dashavatara Stotra is an introduction to his Geet Govind, right? So in that prayer, he says, Tav kar kamal vare nakham adbhut shringam. And then he says, Keshav dhirita narhari rupa Jai Jagdish Hare Jai Jagdish Hare. In this way, he glorifies every main incarnation, the main Leela avatars of Krishna. He says, Keshav dhirita Haladhar Rupa, Keshav dhirita Meen Sharira, right? In this way, he glorifies different incarnations of the Lord. And when he describes Narsingh Dev, he uses the word Narhari, right? Keshav Dhirita Narhari Rupa. So those are the two words I've taken from that prayer to discuss what that means. So Keshav, as you all know, Keshav is Lord Krishna's name, right? Keshav meaning, Keshav has two meanings. One is the killer of Keshi demon, right? And the other meaning is somebody who has very beautiful locks of hair, very beautiful black curly hair. Now, this is actually, Keshav is a very important name that Jaydev Goswami has very smartly, very cleverly used in this beautiful prayers of his in the Shaktar Stotra. The reason being, Keshav was a very important call by Radharani and all the gopis when Krishna left Vrindavan. When Akrura came to get Krishna and Balram and they left with him, this was actually the last name that was given to Krishna in Vrindavan. Keshi demon was one of the last demons that Krishna killed, and he was given this name Keshav. So this was one of the last names he was given in Vrindavan. So everybody was very fond of calling him Keshav at that time because of this pastime of killing Keshi demon at that time. And so when he left, Radharani was so used to calling him Keshav that she would cry and gopis would cry calling him Keshav, right? They'll say, Krishna Keshav, Krishna Keshav, Krishna Keshav Pahi Mam, Ram Raghav, Ram Raghav, Ram Raghav Raksha Mam. So in this way, used to cry Keshav's name, calling out Krishna, right? And we follow in the footsteps of Radharani. So Jaydev Goswami has used this name Keshav for all the incarnations of the Lord, and thus signifying that all the incarnations are actually coming from Krishna, the killer of Keshi demon, the one who has beautiful locks of curly black hair. So this is very important here because this signifies that all the incarnations are coming from Krishna. And we know from many other sources, including Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, where Krishna himself says that Aham Sarvasya Prabhavo Matta Sarvam Pravartate, right? Everything comes from me. And then even in Srimad Bhagavatam, he says many times that I am the source of all incarnations, right? So he says, it is said that Krishna stu Bhagwan Swayam, right? And he comes whenever there is any torment of the devotees or of the demigods, right? Indrari Vyakulam Lokam Mridyanti Yuge Yuge. That he comes in every yuga whenever the demigods or headed by Indra are being Vyakul, are being tormented, are being distressed. So this Keshav name is very significant here because it means that Krishna is the source of all these 10 incarnations that Jaydev Goswami is glorifying in his prayer. And then the second word that I wanted to highlight is Narhari. So Lord Narsingh is very popularly referred to as Narhari. Narhari. Nar means human-like, right? And Hari has several meanings. One of the very common meanings we know is the name of Supreme Personality of Godhead, right? Shri Hari, we say. So it is name of Supreme Lord, Shri Hari, जो सब कुछ हर लेते हैं, right? सर्वम अमंगलम हरे, दैट इज हरि, जो सारे दुख हर लेते हैं, सारे अमंगल चीजें हर लेते हैं, दैट इज सर्वम अमंगलम हरे is Sri Hari. So Sri Hari, when comes in the form of a person or a human, ordinary human, then he can be referred to as Narhari. So basically any incarnation can be Narhari when he comes in the form of a human. Or Hari also means lion. So when Krishna comes as half man or Nar and half lion or Hari, then that means a half man, half lion form of Lord Narsingadev. So I hope everybody's following. It has two meanings. One is when Supreme Lord comes as a human, Nar, or when he comes as half lion and half man. Both those things are called, both those aspects are called Narhari. So, but famously, Hari refers to Supreme Lord as being Sri Hari. It is also called that he is Hareman. He steals the heart of his devotees. He steals the heart of even greatest of the saints, the greatest of the sages and munis, right? Even Paramhansas, they lose their heart to Sri Hari. Even there are full prayers dedicated to the aspect that Krishna is a stealer. There is Chaurashtakam which glorifies how Krishna has stolen so many things. Vraje praseddham navneet chauram gopangananam chadukula chauram. Like that, Bilva Mangal Thakur has glorified Krishna's stealing propensity in Chaurashtakam. So this is the Narhari, who's coming as half man, half lion. Hari also means lion. So this fearsome form, when Keshav takes this fearsome form, he is referred to as Narhari or Lord Narsingadev. So so this is just, as you understand that Krishna's incarnations are not just those 10. Those 10 are just the Leela avatars. But from Srimad Bhagavatam, we have understood that Krishna has many, many, numerous incarnations. They're always coming. They're coming like waves come in the sea. Even now, when we think we are not able to see any incarnations, there are many, many incarnations manifesting in different parts of this universe or in different other material universes at the same time. And at the same time, many different incarnations may be manifesting their pastimes. So Lord's pastimes are eternally going on in different parts of the universes, right, at different times. And some are manifest to us, some are not manifest to us. Some incarnations are Leela avatars like these 10, some are Guna avatars, some are Shakti Avesh avatars, and the incarnations of the Lord is a whole science unto itself, where there are so many numerous, uncountable incarnations that we have no idea about. There are so many. So these pictures are just showing some of them. These 10 are the main ones that Jaydev Goswami described in his beautiful Dashavatar Stotra. Now, I was telling you about the history of that Aarti. So, like I said, Mahaprabhu used to sing the first half of that Aarti, and Jaydev Goswami has written the last part of that, of those two lines. And it was our dear Prabhupada who actually united both the aspects, both the halves, Mahaprabhu's prayers and Jaydev Goswami's lines from the Shatta Stotra, and then he made this full Narsing Aarti. So the full Narsing Aarti that we know as of today was actually put together by Prabhupada in this form that we sing today. So it is basically a combination of the two very glorious prayers by two very great acharyas, and one actually Krishna himself as Mahaprabhu. So that was so that tells us that our disciplic succession, even Mahaprabhu or Prabhupada and Prabhupada's guru, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, Bhakti Vinod Thakur, they all actually glorified Narsingh Dev very, very wholeheartedly. They reverentially worshipped him, and they recommended the worship of Narsingh Dev. So I'll go into that in a little bit, but this is a verse that I found that is given in Narsingh Puran actually. This verse says, I'll read the translation. The Supreme Lord who assumed the form of a half man, half lion in the Satya Yuga to cure a dreadful disease that had devastated the Daityas. So they're talking about Hiranyakashipu here. The disease that had devastated the Daityas is basically Hiranyakashipu, right? He was tormenting the Daityas, the demons, so much. Not the demon, but the rest of the population so much. And he was like a disease, basically. So he came in Satya Yuga. as half man, half lion, who appearing as Ram conquered the 10-headed Ravan in the Treta Yuga, right? So in Treta Yuga, he came as Ram and conquered the Dashmukh Ravan, who removed the burden of earth in the Dwapar Yuga, right, as Krishna, protected the cowherd men of Vrajpura. So he protected the Gwalas, the cowherd men of Vrajpura, will be the Lord by the name Chaitanya in the Kali Yuga. So this verse is predicting the future. This verse is predicting the appearance of Mahaprabhu in the Kali Yuga. That same Lord who is Narsingh, who is Ram, who is Krishna, will also come as Chaitanya in the Kali Yuga. He will have a golden form, Gauranga Priya Kirtana. He will take pleasure in the kirtan, in the chanting the Lord's holy names. I thought this verse was very, very interesting because it predicts there are many, many verses in our scriptures that predict the appearance of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. But since this comes in Narsingh Puran, I wanted to mention this here. Again, just to reinforce how all the incarnations are none other than Krishna himself, including Mahaprabhu, and how all the appearances of different avatars, are very, very worshipable to us. They are, yes, our ultimate goal is Radha and Krishna, but whenever Krishna comes, each time he comes, there is a particular reason, and he comes according to the time, place, and circumstance of that situation, and we have to take shelter of different incarnations according to different circumstances. So Narsingh Dev's worship is actually very highly recommended by our whole disciplic succession in our scriptures, by Prabhupada, by our Guru Varga, and that is why Narsingh Aarti was incorporated as part of the Mangal Aarti by Prabhupada in all the temples. So very, very important that we take the shelter of Narsingh Bhagwan, and I'll go in detail on why that is. So this verse goes like this: Satye kuladina sadetya samme simmurdvam martya krites Tretayam dasa kandharam paribhavan rameti namakriti. I'm sorry, this is not the right meter. Satye kuladina sadetya samaye Simmurdhvamartyakriti Tretayam dasa kandharam Paribhavan rameti namakriti Gopalan paripalayan vrajapure Bharam haran dvapare Gauranga priya kirtana Kali yuge chaitanya nama prabhu. Sorry about that. This is the right meter. So this is a very nice picture that I like. So there is so we always worry. We always say that we don't see the Lord. We don't see the incarnation. We don't know what is we don't have Krishna in front of us, right? So it is hard for us to have faith. It is hard for us to do our services because we don't know who we are doing this for, right? But devotees always tell us, right? Our gurus always tell us that you do everything for Krishna, right? Do it in pure loving devotional service to Krishna, because whatever you do, Krishna sees everything, right? If you're doing your chanting properly or not, if you're offering bhoga properly or not, if you're serving the Vaishnavas properly or not, Krishna is seeing your effort. Krishna watches it all, right? So I like this sign a lot. This sign is seen in Bandhavgarh National Park in India. In India, there is this tiger park or national park called Bandhavgarh. वहाँ पे एक sign लगा हुआ है. उसमें tiger बोल रहा है, Perhaps you may not have seen me, but please don't be disappointed. I have seen you. कि हो सकता है आपने मुझे नहीं देखा हो, लेकिन मैंने आपको देख लिया है. तो इसी तरीके से नरसिंह भगवान भी या कृष्णा के जितने कोई भी इनकारनेशन है, कृष्णा है, we should not think that nobody it doesn't matter what I do. I can have a little onion garlic या कुछ आज एकादशी नहीं रखूंगा, क्या फर्क पड़ता है ना, कौन देख रहा है, मेरे गुरु तो है नहीं देखने के लिए, या कुछ भी. But actually, Krishna is watching it all, right? So just like this tiger is saying, I have seen you. This Narhari, Lord Narsingadev, he's he has seen it. He's watching us at all times. So we should always, not that we do anything in fear, but actually we do it in loving service of Krishna. But in the beginning stages, when we are just starting, that is why Narhari's or Narsingadev's worship is very important, because Narsingadev, he's actually very fear-inducing form, right? And we should always uh, pray to him to remove these kind of obstacles from our path, where we are being allured by the maya, by the sense gratification, by bad association, by the material world, basically by materialistic people and material world. We are getting allured so much by so many attractions all around us. We should pray to Narsingdev, surrender to him, that you please keep an eye on me, you please remove all these obstacles, you are the Vigna Harta, right? Narsingh Dev is the Vigna Harta for our Vaishnavas, for Gaudiya Vaishnavas. He is the Vigna Vinashak, actually. Just like people typically pray to Ganesh Ji, right? The devotees pray actually to Narsingh Dev to remove obstacles from their path. And it is said that actually Ganesh Ji also gets this power of being a Vigna Harta from Narsingh Bhagwan only. उन्होंने भी नरसिंह भगवान की शरण ली है, इसीलिए दे आर इसीलिए ही इज एबल टू रिमूव ऑब्स्टेकल्स फ्रॉम द पाथ ऑफ people that come to his shelter. But typically, as we don't, as we worship Lord and his incarnations, we take shelter of Narsingh Bhagwan. Just like he removed Hiranyakashipu, who's a demon representing a lot of anarthas in our heart, we worship to Narsingh Dev to remove all the anarthas from our heart. Because it can come to our mind, right, that Gauranga Mahaprabhu or our disciplic succession's mood is that of worship of Radha and Krishna. Our ultimate goal is to reach Golok Vrindavan. Our ultimate goal is to serve the lotus feet of Radha and Krishna. वो हमारे राधा कृष्ण हमारे प्राण हैं, they are our dhan pran. So on one hand there is this very sweet Shyam Sundar form of Krishna, the Tribhang Lalit form with dark black curly hair, Keshav appearance, and he has pinkish, very soft lotus-like hands and feet, lotus-like eyes, right? His names are so beautiful. He's called Shyam because he has bluish black complexion. He is holding flute in his hand, so he's called Murlidhar or Bansiwala, right? Banke Bihari, because he's so like a young, charming boy. And kitne so many nice names he's given, right? He's Lord of Gopis, Gopi Jan Vallabh or Gopinath, or he gives pleasure to cows, he gives pleasure to our senses. So he's Govinda, he's Gopal, he's Radhika Raman, he's meditating on Radha Rani. Madan Mohan, because he steals even the heart of a Cupid, so he's called Madan Mohan. जो मदन को भी मोह ले, उस Cupid को भी मोह ले, that is Madan Mohan. तो इतने sweet names वाले, इतने sweet pastimes वाले Krishna, इतने beautiful दिखने वाले, इतने charming, whose skin is so soft, who's Pundarikaksh, right? How Queen Kunti describes all his lotus-like eyes and face and mouth and garlands and body. And then on the other hand, look at Narsingh Bhagwan. You can see Narsingh Bhagwan, so ferocious, so fearsome, एकदम उग्र रूप, बिभत्स, like भयंकर घोर रूप, हाँ, बहुत ही ज्यादा fear inducing, such a astonishing, wonderful form कि जिनको देख के demigods भी डर गए. Even demigods don't worship Narsingh Dev in the heavens. So, how come, Gaudiya Vaishnavas, we are worshipping so sincerely to Narsingh Dev every day, right? Narsingh Aarti is our first Aarti that we learn. How do we pray to this Ghor Roop of Bhagwan, of Krishna? So that is the reason that, Narsingh Bhagwan, yes, our goal is Radha Krishna, but the road to Radha Krishna is made clear by Narsingh Bhagwan. He removes the obstacles that come on this path. He removes our sinful propensities, our materialistic tendencies, demonic tendencies. He removes the offensive mentality. You know how it is said that offenses, Vaishnava Prad or Vaishnava offenses are like elephants, right? क्या बोलते हैं, हाथी मता, elephant like होते हैं Vaishnava Prads, right? And you know that in a forest, elephant can be killed even elephant can be killed by a lion, right? Lion elephant को भी मार सकता है. So these elephant-like Vaishnava prads or other offenses Naam Aprad, Vaishnav Aprad, Guru Aprad, Vishnu Aprad, whatever we commit, even those offenses, yes, Nirvay Prabhu is saying mad elephant offense, yes, even those offenses that are elephant like can be killed by this lion, this Narsingh Bhagwan, who's half man, half lion, can kill those offenses also, those elephant like offenses also. So he is worshipped as a protector of the devotees, protector of their devotional service. Not only devotional service, but also protector of their health, their bodies, protector of the temples, protector of the dham, and protector of our spiritual practice and of this Sankirtan movement. That is why any time when during Prabhupada's time, whenever there were very big obstacles against building the temples, against our Hare Krishna movement. There were devotees were being tortured and captured and put in the jail, and so many things were going on. And then Prabhupada's own health, anytime his own health was in danger, he told his disciples to take shelter of Narsingh Bhagwan. He told his disciples to pray to Narsingh Bhagwan. Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, actually, he told his disciples, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Maharaj, the guru of bhakti of our Prabhupada, when he sent the disciples to Europe, he gave them Narsingh Kavach to wear, कि ये कवच डाल के जाओ, क्योंकि यूरोप में बहुत ज्यादा सेंस एल्योरमेंट है, बहुत ज्यादा वहाँ पे सेंस ग्रेटिफिकेशन के रिसोर्सेज हैं, सो यू शुड नॉट गेट bewildered there, you should not lose your focus. So wear Narsingh Kavach, and Narsingh Bhagwan will protect you from those distractions. So in this way, that is the power of Narsingh Bhagwan, that just like he protected Prahlad, not only his body, all his devotional service, his devotion, he cleared his path, right? He protected him from this demon who was torturing him. And so that is why we worship Narsingh Bhagwan. So we worship Radha Krishna in a very sweet mood in Vrindavan. That was the mood of Gauranga. But as a remover of all obstacles in the path, we have to take shelter of Narsingh Bhagwan also. And it is said that when we worship other demigods, that is not Ananya Bhakti. बिकॉज कृष्णा ने बहुत क्लियरली बोला है भगवद गीता में कि अनन्यस चिंत्यन्तो माम, या फिर महात्मा अनस्तु माम पार्था भजन्ते अनन्या मनसो, राइट, कि अनन्य मन से किसी और को के बिना मेरी अनन्य नाथ केवल्य भक्ति करो, अनन्य भक्ति करो मेरी, राइट. तो नरसिंह भगवान की पूजा करने से वो अनन्यता भंग नहीं होती. That is a very important point I heard in one of the lectures कि don't think it is like some demigod worship. जैसे हम दूसरे किसी demigod की पूजा करते हैं तो अनन्यता भंग होती है. लेकिन with Lord Narsingh worship, like we established before, he's none other than Krishna. And he came in that particular mood, in this ferocious form, for a particular reason, to fulfill the requirements of both Prahlad Maharaj and Brahma ji, right? कि प्रहलाद महाराज ने बोला कि इस खंबे में भी हैं भगवान. सो कृष्णा केम आउट फ्रॉम दैट कॉलम ओनली. इन्होंने इधर पॉइंट किया तो इसी जगह से वो निकले बाहर, टू प्रूव द पॉइंट ऑफ हिज डिवोटी, टू कीप द वर्ड ऑफ हिज डिवोटी. And then he came in that form to keep the word of another devotee, which is Brahma ji. So he kept the word of both his devotees and to induce fear in the heart of this Hiranyakashipu, to show that nobody can torment my devotees and get away with this. Nobody can harass my devotees like this and get away with this. So he came in this fear-inducing form to induce fear in the hearts of demons. But actually, for his devotees, he's not using his nails. He's using the lotus palm. उनका जो हाथ का soft cushion like हाथ है, उनका जो paw था, नरसिंह भगवान का जो paw था, उसका जो soft furry part था, he used that for to pat the head of Prahlad. Whereas with his nails, with those very big long nails, he tore open the body of Hiranyakashipu. So devotees are not, devotees take his shelter. They're not scared of him. Prahlad Maharaj, as you may remember from 7th canto, was not afraid of him, because that is the devotee, right, who is fearless because he has taken shelter of the Lord. So he's can never be afraid of his Lord जब उनके भगवान उनके सामने आएंगे तो. तो इनसे सो नरसिंह भगवान की पूजा करने से अनन्यता भंग नहीं होती. That is another point I wanted to make. But even Mahaprabhu, who very famously said, right, आराध्यो भगवान व्रजेस्तन्यास तद्धामा वृंदावनम रम्या काचिदुपासना व्रजवधु वर्गेण वा कल्पिता, that we worship Krishna in Vrindavan Dham in the same mood as the Vrajvadhus or the gopis of Vrindavan, right? So that was his opinion. He said Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu matamidam tatradhara napara, right? So this is the opinion of Mahaprabhu, that we have, that our Aradhya Bhagwan is the Lord of Vrindavan, who always resides in Vrindavan. But even Mahaprabhu has displayed his Narsingh Roop many times in his Gaur Leela. Many times where he is referred as Gaur Simha. Actually, in Chaitanya Charitamrit, Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami has referred to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu as Gaur Simha instead of Narsimha, because there are many similarities between the two and many differences also. So, for example, the similarities between Mahaprabhu and Narsingh Bhagwan is both are golden complexion, right? Both had very long mane-like hair. Mahaprabhu ke hair kitne lush and soft and dark black and long the. If you remember the pastime of his sannyas, when he took sannyas and his head was shaved off, how devotees that were looking upon this scene cried so much and were tortured for many and many days, remembering that scene that Mahaprabhu has shaved off his beautiful locks of hair. So both Narsingh Bhagwan की ऐसे beautiful mane of hair था, और Gaurang Mahaprabhu का भी ऐसा ही है. So, and both have golden complexion. Both have broad chest and thin waist, right? And just like Narsingh Bhagwan roars, right? He roars so ferociously, so loudly. जब वो खंबे में से बाहर भी नहीं आए थे, Hiranyakashipu had just hit the column with his fist. तो इतनी जोर से उसमें से रोर आई थी उस खंबे में से, that it tore the heart of Hiranyakashipu ki, it shook the whole universe. All the demigods immediately came down ki kya ho gaya. It was such a loud, ferocious roar that as was never heard before. Kisi bhi lion ki roar you can imagine, but it was 1,000 times more than that roar. And in the similar mood, Mahaprabhu roars the name of Sri Hari on the streets of Navdvip, right? And both appeared in the Simha Rashi, in the Leo star constellation. So there are some similarities in their appearances and mood like that. But differences were also there, right? Narsingh Dev is in a very ferocious mood. He's killing the demon, whereas Mahaprabhu was not killing any demons. He was just killing the demonic propensities from our heart. He was he was most munificent, Param Karuna, right? Most munificent incarnation of the Lord. So he confirmed, actually Mahaprabhu confirmed several times in his pastimes in Gaur Leela. We see many times where he confirmed that he was none other than Narsingh Dev. I can talk about that now, I guess, because I don't think I have any slides for that. Is everybody okay with the discussion so far? Any questions, or would you like me to stop and hold for a few minutes, add some points, and then I can?
Thank you for nice presentation. Mataji, what are the sources you used for the presentation? If you can share that also. I don't know if you did.
Yes, Prabhuji, I've heard several lectures. So Radhanath Maharaj ke 2-3 lectures sune the, and then Adi Gadadhar Prabhu ke, and I have heard several, Prabhuji. I can't remember. वो Amal Krishna Prabhu के, Amal Krishna जो द्वारका वाले प्रभु जी हैं, ऐसे 2-3 different type के.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you. Great. Very nice presentation. Very good.
Thank you, Prabhuji. So I'll just quote some of the pastimes of Mahaprabhu where he displayed his. I did not. I have some slides with the story of Prahlad Maharaj and with the prayers and teachings and instructions of Prahlad Maharaj also towards the end. But I thought since you're all familiar with the story, I'll just go into different things that are, for example, appearance of Ugra Narsimha, in Mayapur Dham and Ahobilam Kshetram, those kind of things more than the story of Prahlad and Narsingh. Is that okay, Prabhuji?
Mataji, whatever you like. Listening all the next you're sharing. Thank you.
Okay, so I'll just mention quickly about the various times when Mahaprabhu um, showed his nursing group. So the two or three that I know that I heard about. One was, so probably all of you know this famous pastime, that there was this Muslim magistrate called Chand Qazi, right? And he was not happy that Mahaprabhu and his team of disciples, devotees, were doing kirtan on the street and chanting the name of Lord Hari, and people were getting attracted to the Sankirtan movement. So he wanted to break up this Sankirtan party, and he wanted to, punish the devotees. He wanted to basically harass them. So one day he sent his people, and they were harassing devotees. They even break a mridanga. They even broke a mridanga, and in this way they dispersed the Nagar Kirtan, right? So in this way they were harassing the devotees and not letting them do the Nagar Kirtan, right? So, and then he was going to send people to the house of Srivas Thakur, because Srivas Thakur's house was where Mahaprabhu and other associates were residing, right? That's where that was the main center, main hub where the nightly kirtan and other sankirtan used to happen, right? So Chand Kazi was going to send some people to Srivas Thakur's house and arrest him. So that day, Srivas Thakur, he closed the door of his room, and he had nursing DT, and he started praying very, very intensely to Lord Narsimha. Okay. Now he was not really worried about himself. It's not like he was praying for his own protection. He was mainly praying because he was mainly worried about Mahaprabhu, and he was worried about other devotees, and he was worried about the whole Sankirtan movement, that our Sankirtan movement is nicely spreading. And he was hoping that Chand Kazi will not, create any more disturbance. So he was very sincerely praying. And suddenly the door to his room opened and Mahaprabhu entered. And Mahaprabhu saw him worshipping Narsimha. And at that time, Mahaprabhu, in very great ecstasy, he showed his nursing group to Srivas Thakur, and he told him that, that he showed him the roop and basically revealed to him that I am none other than Narsingh. I'm none other than Lord Narsimha. And now that you have worshipped me, I will take care of this situation. I will take care of this problem. So don't worry about anything. Nothing will happen to our Sankirtan movement. You just take my shelter, and I'm none other than Narsingh, and I'll take care of this situation. So then suddenly all these attacks on devotees stopped. Nothing more happened from Chand Kazi. And one day Chand Kazi came to visit Mahaprabhu. He said, I want to have audience with Mahaprabhu in private. तो महाप्रभु ने बोला कि प्राइवेट में कुछ नहीं है, सबके सामने बात करो. तो सबके सामने बात करी. तो चांद काजी से उन्होंने पूछा कि what happened? How come you stopped your attack on devotees, and why are you not harassing, and you were being very violent before? So what has happened? So Chand Kazi revealed at that time that a few days back I was sleeping in my quarters very peacefully, and I had this dream in which this very, very wonderful, very amazing person came whose face was like that of a ferocious lion with red hot eyes, like hot anger dripping from his eyes, with flames coming from his entire body. And he had 16 hands, 16 arms and hands, and he grabbed my shoulder, and he shook me very badly, and he told me that stop torturing my devotees. If you don't, then I will, if you don't stop, then I'll come back to visit you again. And next time you will be, next time you will not be saved. So I'm giving you a chance. So stop torturing the devotee. So he gave me this warning. And when I woke up, I was, he said it was very, very real. I was perspiring very heavily and very, very, my heart was racing as if this person was right there in front of me and suddenly disappeared. And I thought it was a dream. But then my shoulders were hurting really bad. So I checked my shoulders and I saw that his claw marks were there, and he showed his claw marks to Mahaprabhu कि वो अभी भी यहाँ पर हैं जहाँ पे उसने मेरा जहाँ पे उन्होंने मेरा मुझे पकड़ा था. So very deep gnash marks on my either chest or shoulder, somewhere on his body. He showed those marks. So in this way, Chand Kazi said that I promise none of my generation, matlab आगे की future generation, will ever trouble the Sankirtan movement of Vaishnavas. So, and it is said that even until now, जैसे 1947 में भी riots हुए हिंदू मुस्लिम्स के, but Chand Kazi's family or his generation, they never ever disturbed the devotees again. They never disturbed any Sankirtan movements or temples or any of the Vaishnava endeavors at all. So that was one time when Mahaprabhu displayed his form to Srivas Thakur and then drove away Chand Kazi. And then another time was also to Srivas Thakur, that one time Srivas Thakur was reciting Vishnu Sahasranam. So when the part comes where he is glorifying Narsingh Bhagwan in the Vishnu Sahasranam, Mahaprabhu suddenly, he had these ecstatic symptoms where his hair rose and his body was trembling, and he was roaring, and many other features, bodily features, came upon him, and he showed his Narsimha Roop to all the devotees that were present when they were reciting the Vishnu Sahasranam. So that was another time when he revealed his Narsimha form. I think there are many others, but I just know of one more, the three main times that have been mentioned where I read and heard. One more time was when in Jagannath Puri, there was a devotee called Pradyumna Brahmachari. His another name was Narsimha Nanda. His worshipable deity was Lord Narsimha. And remember I mentioned that there is a Narsimha deity in Jagannath Puri. He used to offer bhoga to the Narsimha deity there every day. So ek din he invited Mahaprabhu also, right? And he made prasad, he made bhoga for Mahaprabhu, for Jagannath ji, and for Lord Narsimha. उन्होंने वो भोगा लगा दिया तीनों को, and then he saw कि Mahaprabhu actually started eating. He ate all the three bhogas. तीनों का उन्होंने ही खा लिया. जगन्नाथ जी का भी, नरसिंह भगवान का भी, और जो उनको दिया था गौरांगा का भी. तो ये जो नरसिम्हानंद थे प्रद्युम्न ब्रह्मचारी, ये एकदम से हैरान हो गए. एंड ही टोल्ड महाप्रभु कि महाप्रभु व्हाई डिड यू ईट all three? Now my Lord Narsimha will have to go fasting today because there is no more food left that I can make for him. So then Mahaprabhu revealed his Narsimha form to Narsimhananda, that he's none other than Narsimha, and by offering me bhoga you have satisfied Narsimhadev completely. So do not be alarmed, do not be worried about this. Prabhuji, would you like to share, because I do only these, would you like to share any more from Gaur Leela where Mahaprabhu displays his Narsingha Roop?
No, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay, so so this is just a part of my presentation, but basically the point is that all our disciplic succession has taken the shelter of Lord Narsimha, and it is said that he's ugra, but he's ugra api anugraha, meaning he's ugra towards demons and anugraha towards devotees. Anugraha matlab merciful towards devotees. So worshipping Narsimhadev brings all auspiciousness. So we should take his shelter and pray to him intensely. It is said that जैसे विष्णु जी के वो चार चीजें होल्ड करते हैं अपने चतुर्व्यूह रूप में, उनके चार चीजें होती हैं, राइट? शंख, चक्र, गदा, पदम. So it is said that the shankh and padam, conch and the lotus, is meant for devotees. शंख उनको बुलाने के लिए, उनको जैसे आह्वान करने के लिए, and padam, a lotus, also meant for devotees because it is fragrant, it is soft, it is full of all good qualities, very auspicious, right? Beautiful. But जो चक्र और गदा है, चक्र and disc and mace, that is meant for demons. तो भगवान विष्णु के जो हाथ में दो चीजें हैं वो devotees के लिए हैं और दो चीजें demons के लिए हैं. So so same Bhagwan, he basically, he, as we know, he reciprocates with different people according to their feelings, right? Ye yatha mam prapadyante tams tathaiva bhajamyaham. So so in this way, he, if it is demon, it's not that he's being partial to his devotees, but demons have the mood where they are envious towards the Lord. So he reciprocates with them in that same mood by killing them, by liberating them. And if you all remember, our seventh canto begins with this very question, that very, very important question that Yudhishthir Maharaj asked from Narad Muni when he was watching in the at the time of the yajna. Um, why did after killing Shishupal with his Sudarshan Chakra, why did Shishupal enter into the body of the Lord? Shishupal is so envious. How did he enter into the body of the Lord? What is the meaning behind this? तो युधिष्ठिर महाराज ने ये क्वेश्चन पूछा था नारद मुनि से कि लॉर्ड पार्शियल हैं या इम्पार्शियल हैं. So and that's where the seventh canto starts. And then Narad Muni went on to tell the story of Hiranyaksh and how Varahadev killed Hiranyaksh, how Hiranyakashipu became envious of the Lord and wanted to take revenge, and how did he do all his austerities, and finally how Narsimha Dev came, right? So in this way, he went into this elaborate discussion of Hiranyaksh and Hiranyakashipu's story to answer that question of Yudhishthir Maharaj, which we can discuss a little later. Do we have time to discuss Mayapur's Ugra Narsimha, Prabhuji, or should I stop?
Please continue.
Okay, is that okay, Prabhuji and other devotees? And
Yes.
I know it's a weekday to be. Okay,
Yes,
I'll just tell the
please.
story of Ugra Narsimha from Mayapur, and then I'll stop, and then we can think about it later. So most of you might have heard this story, but whoever has not, I hope you will enjoy this story. Very, very nice story. So this is the Ugra Narsimha of Mayapur Dham. So let's start with the story, what happened. So actually this is the day when our dear, I know Nirbhay Prabhu won't like this, but our dear Nirbhay Prabhu was born that day, March 24th, 1984. Okay. This was a day very auspicious for all of us because Nirbhay Prabhu came, so we get his association. But it was a very, very inauspicious day for Mayapur Dham. I'll speak in part Hindi if that's okay. I think everybody understands Hindi. Okay, तो क्या हुआ उस दिन March 24th, 1984 को एक band of dacoits थे. There were about 35 dacoits. They decided कि this temple of Mayapur, उस टाइम छोटा टेम्पल था, बहुत बड़ा टेम्पल नहीं था. यहाँ पर बहुत ज्यादा गोल्ड एंड ज्वेल्स वगैरह वाले डीटीज हैं और गोल्ड एंड ज्वेल्स वगैरह की उन्होंने ऑर्नामेंट्स वगैरह डाले हुए हैं. सो लेट्स लूट दैट टेम्पल, वहां पे डाका डालते हैं, एंड वी विल बिकम रिच beyond our dreams because those deities are so loaded with jewels and opulent clothes and everything. तो उनका हम उनकी वो चुरा लेते हैं सब चीजें, and we will become very rich. So most of these dacoits were Muslims, but there were also some Hindus actually in that group. So there were about 30 to 35 लोगों का gang था. So so in the night time they attacked the temple at Mayapur Dham, ISKCON temple. ISKCON temple को उन्होंने attack किया. So 1984 की बात है, right? Prabhupada has already left, right? So many years after that. उसकी बाद की बात है ये. उनके disciples temple में चला रहे हैं. तो उन्होंने अटैक किया and they came with all kind of weapons, even guns. ठीक है. And devotees fought actually with them very, very bravely. बहुत अच्छे से devotees ने उनको confront किया, and बहुत सारे devotees injured भी हो गए. Actually, it was a very, very, very bad fight, very, very violent, and one of our very senior devotee, Bhakti Raghav Maharaj, he lost his leg in that fight actually. And the devotees were just trying to protect the deities. They protected the Radha Madhav deity. They were protecting Prabhupada's deity. तो वो प्रभुपाद की और राधा रानी की डीटी को लेके जाने की ट्राई कर रहे थे. प्रभुपाद की डीटी तो डिवोटीज ने बचा ली, लेकिन राधा रानी की डीटी को नहीं बचा पाए। तो बहुत ज्यादा फाइट के बाद राधा रानी की डीटी वो डेकॉइट्स ले गए। And after this fight, the devotees, everywhere, not only in Mayapur Dham, but especially Mayapur Dham, right, ISKCON Mayapur, devotees were very heartbroken कि ऐसा कैसे हो गया, राधा रानी की डीटी ले गए, this was very very horrible, इतना violence कैसे हो गई, ये dacoits कैसे आ गए temple में. So this became a point of discussion कि how should we protect our temple, right? And as we know that in every difficult situation we should take shelter of the Lord. We should not use our जैसे कि ठीक है materialistic चीजें भी कर सकते हैं अपन with our limited intelligence and logics, but the most important thing is to take shelter of the Lord. So at that time the devotees decided that the best thing for us to protect the temple is to have the deity of Narsingh Dev. अगर नरसिंह भगवान की डीटी होगी टेम्पल में तो कोई हम पे ऐसे फिर से कभी अटैक नहीं कर पाएगा. सो इस पे उन्होंने काफी सोचा एंड द एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन एंड ऑल द डिसाइपल डिवोटीज अग्रीड कि वी हैव टू हैव डीटी ऑफ नरसिंह भगवान. फिर उन्होंने स्क्रिप्चर्स के हिसाब से सोचा कैसी डीटी होनी चाहिए एंड जो उनके हेड थे उस टाइम पे उन्होंने एक स्केच बनाया स्क्रिप्चर्स के अकॉर्डिंग और वो स्केच था उग्र नरसिम्हा का. उग्र नरसिम्हा इज दैट फॉर्म ऑफ नरसिम्हा जैसे एक होते हैं शांत नरसिम्हा, राइट. शांत तो हैं कि जब उन्होंने हिरण्यकशिपु को मार दिया, प्रहलाद महाराज उनको प्रेयर्स वगैरह ऑफर कर रहे हैं एंड ही हैज बिकम पैसिफाइड, वो हो गए शांत नरसिम्हा. ठीक है, वो बैठे हुए हैं थ्रोन पे, उनको बोलते हैं स्थानु, उनको बोलते हैं जो बैठे होते हैं, उनका मुझे नाम नहीं पता, बट ही इज बेसिकली सिटिंग डाउन. ही इज इन अ मोर मेलो मूड, मोर पैसिफाइड मूड. जो एकदम खंबे में से अभी बाहर निकले हैं उनको बोलते हैं उग्र नरसिम्हा, क्योंकि वो इतने ज्यादा गुस्से में हैं सीइंग द टॉर्चर ऑफ हिज डिवोटी प्रहलाद कि इसने हिरण्यकशिपु की हिम्मत कैसे हुई कि इसने मेरे डिवोटी को हाथ लगाया. उनको बहुत गुस्सा है और वो गुस्सा भी उन्होंने भी मारा नहीं है हिरण्यकशिपु को, तो उनका गुस्सा भी निकला नहीं है. सो अभी इतने गुस्से में हैं जब तक उन्होंने हिरण्यकशिपु को मारा नहीं, उसके अपनी पूरी भड़ास नहीं निकाली. इज इन वेरी वेरी बैड लाइक फिरोशियस फॉर्म, वेरी वेरी फियरसम फॉर्म, एंगर में है. उनको बोलते हैं उग्र नरसिम्हा. बहुत ही भयानक बिभत्स रूप जो है नरसिंह देव का वो बोलते हैं उग्र नरसिम्हा. वो फॉर्म उन्होंने स्केच बनाया डिवोटीज ने और एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन के सामने प्रेजेंट किया कि दिस शुड बी द फॉर्म दैट वी इंस्टॉल इन अ टेम्पल, द फॉर्म ऑफ उग्र नरसिम्हा. एंड एवरीबडी अग्रीड कि ठीक है ये करते हैं. तो फिर उन्होंने कहा कि ओके इसके लिए वी शुड गेट द बेस्ट स्कल्प्टर, जो शिल्पकार जो बहुत अच्छे डीटी बना के दे हमको. तो साउथ इंडिया में टिपिकली बहुत अच्छे अच्छे शिल्पकार या मतलब स्कल्प्टर्स होते थे जो स्पेशली भगवान की डीटीज बनाने में इंटेलिजेंट होते हैं. उनको इसका स्किल होता है, ये वाला स्क्रिप्चर्स के अकॉर्डिंग वो सारी डीटीज बना सकते हैं. तो उन्होंने एक डिवोटी की ड्यूटी लगाई कि आप जाओ साउथ इंडिया में और किसी अच्छे से शिल्पकार को ढूंढो. तो एक प्रभु जी थे, उनका नाम था आत्म तत्व प्रभु. ही वॉज गिवन द टास्क कि आप जाओ. तो वो घूमने लगे साउथ इंडिया में, जगह जगह स्कल्प्टर्स को ढूंढने लगे. तो उनको एक बहुत ही फेमस शिल्पकार थे जो इस तरह के डीटीज बनाते हैं, मंदिर के डीटीज, उनको बोलते हैं स्थापति. तो एक बहुत फेमस स्थापति थे उस टाइम के, उनके पास वो गए चेन्नई में. तो उनको उन्होंने बोला कि देखो ये स्केच है, ये इस्कॉन मायापुर को ये उग्र नरसिम्हा की डीटी चाहिए, कैन यू मेक इट. तो वो स्थापति ने देखा, सोचा और ही रिफ्यूज्ड. उन्होंने मना कर दिया कि नहीं ये तो मैं नहीं बनाऊंगा. उनको काफी रिक्वेस्ट की, उन्होंने कहा नहीं आप कहीं और जाओ, आप देखो कोई और बना देगा पर मैं नहीं बनाऊंगा. कोई और डीटी चाहिए तो बताओ, नरसिम्हा की नहीं बनाऊंगा. सो एनीवेज उन्होंने सोचा चलो कोई और मिल जाएगा. तो काफी टाइम इधर उधर भटकते रहे, घूमते रहे, बट उनको कोई नहीं मिला. कोई भी नरसिंह भगवान की डीटी बनाने को तैयार नहीं था. कोई और डीटी बनवा लो, नरसिंह भगवान की नहीं बना सकते. वो फिर वापस यही जो ओरिजिनल शिल्पकार थे इनके पास वापस आए, स्थापति के पास, कि देखो कोई भी नहीं मान रहा, प्लीज आप बना दीजिए, इट विल बी वेरी नाइस, इट विल बी वेरी हेल्पफुल फॉर अस. उन्होंने उनको पूरी सिचुएशन बताई, उन्होंने बैठ के पूरी बात की, देखो ऐसे डिकॉइट्स आए, इतना ज्यादा किया, हमारे डिवोटीज इंजर हो गए, राधा रानी की डीटी चुरा ली, दिस इज वेरी वेरी इनऑस्पिशियस, सो वी नीड उग्र नरसिम्हा. तो जो वो स्थपति थे वो बहुत ज्यादा शिल्प शास्त्र में स्किल्ड थे। उन्होंने अपनी शिल्प शास्त्र की बुक खोल के उनको दिखाई, उसके हिसाब से उग्र नरसिम्हा का जो था उन्होंने उनको पूरा बताया कि देखो ऐसे ऐसे होता है। लेकिन उग्र नरसिम्हा की मूर्ति कोई बनाएगा नहीं, आप कितना भी ट्राई करो मुझे नहीं लगता कोई आपको मिलेगा जो बनाएगा, आप ये ख्याल छोड़ दो। तो ये जो डिवोटी थे आत्म तत्व प्रभु, उन्होंने बोला अच्छा छोड़ो, आप डीटी मत बनाओ, आप एक स्केच बना दो। तो उन्होंने कहा अच्छा ठीक है स्केच बना दूंगा। तो उन्होंने 7 दिन लगाकर ऐसे स्केच बनाया, 7 दिन तक तो उन्होंने स्केच ही बनाया, और वो स्केच इनको दे दिया कि भाई ये देख लो, डीटी नहीं बनाऊंगा। लेकिन ठीक है, आत्म तत्व प्रभु वापस आ गए मायापुर, उन्होंने स्केच दिखाया कि देखो ये स्थापति हैं बहुत फेमस, उन्होंने स्केच बनाया है बट डीटी नहीं बना रहे। तो सारे लोग दुखी हुए कि अच्छा, लेकिन उन्होंने हिम्मत नहीं हारी, उन्होंने कहा नहीं, आप फिर जाओ, आप उनके पास फिर जाओ, फिर से रिक्वेस्ट करो हमारी तरफ से। और उस टाइम तक दे इवन हैड अ स्पॉन्सरर, जो डीटी को के लिए उन्होंने बहुत पैसा भी दे दिया था कि आप जो भी शिल्पकार होगा हम उसकी डीटी, उसको हम पैसे भी देंगे अच्छे से, और अच्छे से इंस्टॉलेशन भी करेंगे, ऑल्टर भी बनाएंगे, सब कुछ होगा। तो वी हैव स्पॉन्सर ऑल्सो अवेलेबल, बट प्लीज रिक्वेस्ट द स्थापति अगेन, प्लीज कंसिडर दिस अगेन, आप प्लीज वापस जाओ। तो ये वापस गए। तो ये आत्म तत्व प्रभु बहुत आगे पीछे ऐसे ही जाते रहते थे, क्योंकि हो ही नहीं पा रहा था काम। तो ये वापस गए सेम स्थापति के पास। तो स्थापति ने बोला, स्थापति के पास गए, बोले कि आप प्लीज दोबारा सोचिए इस बारे में। तो स्थापति बोला अच्छा ठीक है मैं बना दूंगा। तो ये तो एकदम हैरान रह गए, बिकॉज ही वॉज कम्प्लीटली रेडी टू आर्ग्यू विद हिम एंड पुट हिज पॉइंट्स, बड़े सारे पॉइंट सोच के आए थे, बड़े सारे आर्ग्यूमेंट सोच के आए थे, लेकिन कोई आर्ग्यूमेंट करना ही नहीं पड़ा, वो एकदम से मान गए। उन्होंने कहा कि ये क्या हुआ आपको, पिछली बार तो आप बहुत मना कर रहे थे, अभी क्या हुआ। तो स्थापति ने बोला तुम मानोगे नहीं क्या हुआ। कहते कि जब तुम पिछली बार आए और दूसरी बार आए थे, मैंने तुम्हें स्केच बनाकर दिया, तो मुझे बहुत बुरा लगा कि तुम दूसरी बार आए और मैंने आपको मना कर दिया, तुम्हारा इतना अच्छा टेम्पल है, हरे कृष्णा के डिवोटी हो, इतने अच्छे होते हैं हरे कृष्णा के लोग, और मैंने तुम्हें मना कर दिया, मुझे बहुत बुरा लग रहा था। तो मेरे दिमाग में डाउट्स थे नरसिंह भगवान की डीटी बनाने के लिए, तो मैंने सोचा मैं अपने गुरु से परामर्श लेता हूँ। तो मैं अपने गुरु के पास गया था, मैंने गुरु को बताया सब सारी बात। तो गुरु ने भी मेरे डाउट्स को सही बोला, उन्होंने कहा कि तुमने अच्छा किया उनको मना कर दिया। उन्होंने फिर मुझे ये सारी बात बताई कि उग्र नरसिम्हा की डीटी को नहीं बनाना चाहिए, क्योंकि उग्र नरसिम्हा की वर्शिप इज वेरी वेरी हार्ड, राइट। उग्र नरसिम्हा इतने गुस्से में है, राइट। सोचो कि कोई इंसान को बहुत गुस्से में, आप सोच के देखो आपका कोई लव्ड वन जब बहुत गुस्से में होता है, उसको कितना कैसे मनाना पड़ता है, कितनी सेवा करनी पड़ती है उनको, कितना ठीक रखना करने के लिए कितना कुछ करना पड़ता है। तो उग्र नरसिम्हा इतने गुस्से में हैं, उनकी वर्शिप का स्टैंडर्ड बहुत बहुत हाई है, और इस कलयुग में इस टाइम पे कोई ये वर्शिप का स्टैंडर्ड फॉलो नहीं कर पाएगा, एंड दैट विल प्रूव वेरी वेरी इनऑस्पिशियस फॉर दैट टेम्पल एंड फॉर यू हु इज मेकिंग दिस डीटी। तुम्हारे लिए भी ये ठीक नहीं है और उनके लिए भी ये ठीक नहीं है। और मेरे गुरु ने मुझे ये कहानी बताई, उन्होंने कहा कि 3000 साल पहले यहाँ बैंगलोर के पास इस वाले एरिया में, कर्नाटका के पास वाले एरिया में, एक उग्र नरसिम्हा की डीटी होती थी, और उस डीटी की बहुत अच्छे से पूजा की जाती थी, बहुत हाई स्टैंडर्ड से पूजा की जाती थी जो होना चाहिए। और नरसिंह भगवान बहुत खुश थे, सब कुछ बहुत अच्छा होता था उस टाउन में, उस टेम्पल में सब बहुत बढ़िया था। लेकिन फिर उस पुजारी के जाने के बाद जो उनके आगे डिसेंडेंट्स आए, उनकी जो वर्शिप का स्टैंडर्ड था वो धीरे धीरे कम होता गया। जो डिसेंडेंट्स थे, जैसे जनरेशन आगे बढ़ी, वो सेम स्टैंडर्ड कैरी ऑन नहीं कर पाए, धीरे धीरे डाइल्यूट हो गया। तो डाइल्यूट होने से जो भगवान थे वो फिर डीटी, क्योंकि वो गुस्से वाले डीटी हैं, वो खुश नहीं रहे। तो इवेंचुअली उस पूरे टाउन का, उस टेम्पल का, उस पुजारी के फैमिली का सब कुछ, मतलब एवरीथिंग इज गॉन। हाँ, अगर आप अब जाओ वहां पर तो वहां पर सिर्फ खंडर है, वहां पे देयर इज नथिंग, इट्स अ बैरन लैंड। ठीक है, इज दैट व्हाट यू वांट फॉर देयर टेम्पल टू हैपन एंड फॉर यू टू गो थ्रू? सो आई एम ग्लैड यू रिफ्यूज द इस्कॉन मायापुर पीपल। अगर वो फिर से आए, फिर से उनको मना कर देना कि मैं डीटी नहीं बना सकता, क्योंकि ऐसा हो जाएगा। और ये तो 3000 साल पहले की, मतलब पहले तो फिर अच्छा हाई स्टैंडर्ड था, अभी तो कोई ये हाई स्टैंडर्ड फॉलो नहीं कर सकता। तो इवन डेमी गॉड्स भी उग्र नरसिम्हा की वर्शिप नहीं करते, तो आज के लोगों का तो छोड़ो। सो ऐसा कह दिया मेरे गुरु ने, सो आई एक्सेप्टेड दिस एज दिस इंस्ट्रक्शन एंड आई केम बैक एंड आई वाज रेडी टू से नो टू यू इफ यू एवर केम बैक अगेन। लेकिन उस दिन मेरे सपने में गुरु आए फिर से, और गुरु बोले कि जो मैंने तुम्हें बोला था वो भूल जाओ, उनकी डीटी बना दो। और तो मैं बड़ा हैरान हुआ जब मैं उठा कि ये सपना सही था, कि सच में मेरे गुरु ने बोला कि डीटी बना दो, कल तो इतनी सारी बात हुई थी, इन्होंने कहानी सुनाई, उन्होंने बोला मत बनाना। एंड एज आई वाज थिंकिंग कंटेम्पलेटिंग अबाउट दिस, आई गॉट अ लेटर इन द मेल, एंड लेटर में लिखा था, गुरु की लेटर थी, लेटर में गुरु ने पूरी बात लिखी थी कि हाँ उनकी डीटी बना दो, अगर वो आए तो उनको बोलना मैं तुम डीटी बना दोगे। और उन्होंने उसका रीजन भी लिखा। उन्होंने रीजन में ये लिखा, प्लीज लिसन टू दिस वेरी केयरफुली डिवोटीज। उन्होंने लिखा कि जो किसी धाम की डीटी होती हैं, वो कोई भी डीटी, उस डीटी का मूड इज सेम एज द प्राइम डीटी ऑफ दैट धाम। जो मेन डीटी होते हैं, जो मेन वर्शिपेबल डीटी होते हैं उस धाम के, उनका जो मूड होता है वही सारी बाकी के डीटीज का भी मूड होता है। मायापुर धाम के जो मेन डीटी हैं वो हैं महाप्रभु, वो हैं निमाय, वो हैं गौरांगा, और उनका बहुत ही औदार्य वाला, बहुत ही परम करुणा वाला म्यूनिफिसेंट मर्सीफुल मूड है, ठीक है। तो वही मूड बाकी सारे डीटीज पे भी ट्रांसफर हो जाता है, वो सारे भी उसी मूड में ऑपरेट करते हैं, ठीक है। तो उग्र नरसिम्हा भी ऐसे ही उसी मूड में रहेंगे कि जो प्राइम डीटी ऑफ मायापुर धाम है उन्हीं का मूड वो ले लेंगे। तो अगर थोड़ी सी पूजा में, वर्शिप में आगे पीछे होगा भी तो ही विल नॉट माइंड। सो यू आर ओके टू मेक दैट डीटी, ठीक है। नेक्स्ट टाइम इस्कॉन के लोगों को बोल देना कि आप ये डीटी बनाओगे। इसीलिए so when I saw this letter, I was very very excited because now I had instruction from my guru to actually make it. So now I agree that I will make it. जब उन्होंने ये बोला तो ये बहुत खुश हो गए। ये डिवोटी आत्म तत्व प्रभु ये तो पूरा रेडी थे ना सुनने के लिए। अब ये वापस गए और उन्होंने बोला कि मैं 6 महीने में तुम्हारी डीटी बना दूंगा। वापस गए मायापुर में, बहुत सेलिब्रेशंस हुई, बहुत ज़्यादा सब लोग तैयारियां करने लगे, ऑल्टर बनाने लगे, नरसिंह भगवान के क्लोथ्स एंड ज्यूल एंड थ्रोन, ये सब चीज़ों का अरेंजमेंट होने लगा, ठीक है। और 4 महीने हो गए। 4 महीने बाद एडमिनिस्ट्रेशन ने बोला आत्म तत्व प्रभु को कि वापस जाओ, देखो कि डीटी कितनी बन गई। अब तो काफ़ी बन गई होगी, 75% बन गई होगी, जाके देखो। ये आए बहुत एक्साइटेड होके गए स्थापति के पास कि मैं आया हूँ, दिखाओ डीटी कैसी बन रही है, कितना काम हो गया। तो स्थापति ने बोला कौन सी डीटी? सो उन्होंने आत्म तत्व प्रभु ने कहा कैसी बात करते हो, नरसिंह भगवान की डीटी, उग्र नरसिम्हा की डीटी। तो स्थापति ने कहा तुमने क्या मजाक समझा है कि तुमने मुझे बोला और वो बन जाएगी? तुमने कहा कि लेकिन तुमने तो कहा था 6 महीने में बन जाएगी, 4 महीने हो गए। तो उन्होंने कहा कि 6 महीने में तो बन जाएगी जब मुझे डीटी बनाने के लिए उसका पत्थर मिलेगा, उसका स्टोन मिलेगा। अभी तो मेरे पास पत्थर ही नहीं है, तो मैं डीटी कैसे बनाऊं? तो ये आत्म तत्व प्रभु बोले क्या मतलब कि पत्थर नहीं है? यहाँ पे चारों तरफ तुम्हारे ये पत्थर, पहाड़, चट्टान, इतने सारे पहाड़ हैं, इसमें से कोई पत्थर ले लो। तो स्थापति ने बोला कि तुम्हें तुम्हें कुछ ज्ञान नहीं है शिल्प शास्त्र का, और डीटी कैसे बनाई जाती है। डीटी बनाने के लिए, विष्णु की डीटी बनाने के लिए कोई साधारण पत्थर इस्तेमाल नहीं होता। उसके लिए वी नीड अ लिविंग स्टोन। लिविंग स्टोन मतलब उस पत्थर में प्राण होते हैं, उसमें जान होती है। वो एक स्पेशल पत्थर होता है जो कहीं कहीं से ही मिलता है, बहुत मुश्किल से मिलता है। जब वो पत्थर मिलेगा तभी मैं नरसिंह भगवान की डीटी उस पर कार्व कर सकता हूँ। तो उन्होंने बताया कि वो प्राण वाला जो पत्थर होता है उसकी क्या निशानी होती हैं, कि उसमें ऐसे कुछ 7 जगह अगर आप ठोकते हैं तो साउंड निकलती है तरह तरह की। उसकी एक निशानी होती है कि उसमें एक तरफ से एक कीड़ा या बग एंटर करता है और वो पूरी एक लाइन में दूसरी तरफ से निकल जाता है। तो इसका मतलब वो पत्थर जो है उसमें प्राण है। ऐसे कुछ निशानियां होती हैं स्क्रिप्चर्स के अकॉर्डिंग, उसके हिसाब से ही हम विष्णु की डीटी बना सकते हैं। तो अभी आप जाओ, अभी मेरे पास पत्थर नहीं है, जब मिलेगा तो उसके बाद से बन जाएगा। तो ये आत्म तत्व प्रभु ने कहा अच्छा, थोड़े निराश हो गए लेकिन ठीक है। फिर उन्होंने कहा अच्छा एक काम और करना है कि प्रहलाद की डीटी भी बनानी है नरसिंह के साथ। तो उन्होंने कहा अच्छा कितनी बड़ी डीटी चाहिए? तो उन्होंने कहा प्रहलाद महाराज 1 फीट के तो होने चाहिए। तो उन्होंने कहा तुमने बोला था नरसिंह भगवान 4 फीट के होंगे, अगर 4 फीट के नरसिंह चाहिए तो प्रहलाद महाराज का साइज कैन नॉट बी मोर देन द साइज ऑफ एन अमीबा। एक छोटे से अमीबा के जितना साइज का प्रहलाद महाराज बना सकता है, बनाना है तो बताओ। उन्होंने कहा ये क्या ऐसा मतलब हुआ? उन्होंने कहा कि तुम्हें पता है जब तुमने शास्त्र नहीं पढ़े, जब नरसिंह भगवान आए थे वो इतने बड़े थे कि अगर तुम्हें 1 फीट के प्रहलाद महाराज चाहिए तो नरसिंह भगवान 120 फीट के होंगे, क्योंकि ही वॉज 120 टाइम्स बिगर देन प्रहलाद महाराज, टॉलर। अगर 4 फीट के नरसिंह चाहिए तो प्रहलाद महाराज अमीबा के साइज के होंगे। सो चूज। तो उन्होंने कहा ये तो बहुत मुश्किल है, अगर 120 फीट के नरसिंह भगवान तो ना टेम्पल में आएंगे और ना इतना बड़ा पत्थर मिलेगा कभी, 4 फीट का तो पत्थर मिल नहीं रहा। तो उन्होंने कहा कि देखो प्लीज 1 फीट के ही बना दो, प्रहलाद महाराज दिखने तो चाहिए, अगर अमीबा के साइज के बनाओगे तो दिखेंगे ही नहीं। तो उसने कहा, स्थापति ने, अच्छा ठीक है, ठीक है, ऐसे 1 फीट के बना दूंगा, पर 4 फीट के नरसिंह भगवान बनेंगे। इट इज नॉट राइट बट ठीक है, भाव की बात है तो दिखाई देने चाहिए दोनों, तो ठीक है। तो वो अग्री कर गए और आत्म तत्व प्रभु वापस चले गए। अब इधर से ये इनको पत्थर मिल गया और इन्होंने बनाना शुरू कर दिया। ये बहुत बहुत जान लगा के बना रहे थे। ही वॉज सो डेडिकेटेड टू दिस टास्क, ही वुड डू दिस ऑल अलोन। जो उनके लेबरर्स थे, डिसाइपल्स थे, वर्कर्स थे, उनसे कोई हेल्प नहीं लेते थे। पूरा उन्होंने स्केच खुद बनाया पत्थर के ऊपर, कार्विंग खुद की, पूरी 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 कार्विंग खुद करते थे। किसी भी वर्कर को, लेबरर को हाथ भी नहीं लगाने देते थे। ऐसे करके 1 साल बाद वो डीटी बनके तैयार हो गई। अब जब डीटी तैयार हो गई, सो उसके बाद ये बहुत 1 साल लग गया था, अबाउट 1986 हो गए, ठीक है। 84 में डिकॉइट वाला इंसिडेंस हुआ था। तो अब इन्होंने सोचा चलो थोड़ा ब्रेक लेता हूँ, कहीं जाता हूँ। इन्होंने नरसिंह भगवान की डीटी को एक कॉटेज थी उनकी, ऐसे थैच्ड हट टाइप थी, उसमें रख दिया संभाल के अच्छे से, और अपना कहीं पास में कहीं किसी दोस्त के घूमने चले गए। अभी अगले ही दिन उनके गांव से भागते हुए लोग आए, बोले कि स्थापति वापस आओ, तुम्हारे कॉटेज में आग लगी हुई है, जल्दी आओ। अब बाहर इतनी तेज धुआंधार बारिश हो रही थी। उन्होंने कहा क्या बोलते हो, इतनी धुआंधार बारिश में आग कैसे लग सकती है? उसने कहा देख लो, और आग बुझ नहीं रही, जल्दी आओ। तो वो भागते हुए गए, देखा तो वो थैच्ड हट जो थी उसमें आग लगी हुई है और इतनी बारिश हो रही है। अंदर गए, अंदर जाके देखा तो सिर्फ नरसिंह भगवान खड़े हैं और सब उनके चारों ओर जल रहा है, बुरी तरह जल रहा है, एज इफ उनमें से ही आग निकल रही हो, ऐसा लग रहा था। इतना धुआं निकल रहा था, ऐसा लग रहा था। तो ये स्थापति तो वाज कंप्लीटली बेविल्डर्ड कि ये क्या हो रहा है। एंड ही फटाफट ही क्विकली कॉल्ड इस्कॉन मायापुर कि आप आइए, प्लीज लेके जाइए नरसिंह भगवान को, ये सब कुछ जला देंगे यहाँ पे, ही इज बर्निंग एवरीथिंग, प्लीज कम एंड टेक योर नरसिंह भगवान। सो फटाफट से डिवोटीज आ गए, अगले 1-2 दिन में आ गए। दे ब्रॉट अ वेरी बिग ट्रक एंड उसमें ऐसे रेत वगैरह डाल के लाए कि नरसिंह भगवान को लेके जाएंगे ठीक से। तो लेके जाने के लिए उनको रखा ट्रक में। अब लेके जाना भी कोई आसान नहीं है, क्योंकि बहुत ज्यादा पेपर वर्क होता है। जैसे ये आर्कियोलॉजिकल सोसाइटी वगैरह इस तरीके के बहुत सारे पेपर वर्क्स होते हैं। हर एक बॉर्डर पे क्रॉस करते हुए दे चेक द ट्रक की क्या है, और कोई चीज़ चोरी का तो नहीं है, ये डीटी है तो कहीं कहीं से चुराया तो नहीं, ऐसे बहुत सारा पेपर वर्क वगैरह प्रूव करने के लिए चाहिए होता है कि हमारी प्रॉपर्टी है। ऐसा बहुत पेपर वर्क था। लेकिन डिवोटीज ने क्या देखा, पेपर वर्क होते क्या क्विकली, लोग खोलते थे बॉर्डर पे उनका ट्रक, देखते थे नरसिंह भगवान को और जय करके जाने देते थे कि भाई जाओ। नरसिंह भगवान को देखते ही जाने देते थे। तो उनको कहीं पे कोई, किसी ने नहीं रोका, चलते गए आगे और अपना मायापुर पहुंच गए। कहीं पे कोई एक भी ऑब्स्टेकल नहीं आया और मायापुर इस्कॉन पहुंच गए। तो दिस वाज वेरी अमेजिंग टू देम, क्योंकि पहले जब भी कोई डीटीज आते थे बहुत पेपर वर्क लगता था, बहुत काम होते थे, एंड दिस वाज कंप्लीटली ट्रबल फ्री। अब लाकर उन्होंने तो बहुत, वहां पे तो बहुत एक्साइटमेंट थी मायापुर में, पूरा ऑल्टर सजा हुआ, बहुत कुछ। अब क्या था कि उनको स्थापित करना था उनमें कि प्राण प्रतिष्ठा करनी थी, राइट? डीटी की प्राण प्रतिष्ठा होती है। तो प्राण प्रतिष्ठा करने से पहले लेकिन एक चीज और करते हैं जिसमें उनके आंख लगाई जाती है, नयन संस्कारा, कुछ ऐसा संस्कारा होता है जिसमें वो आंख लगाते हैं डीटी की, तब उसके बाद प्राण प्रतिष्ठा करते हैं। तो ऐसा होता है कि वो स्थापति दोबारा आकर आंख कार्व करेगा और फिर प्राण प्रतिष्ठा की जाएगी। लेकिन जब वो डीटी वहां पे पहुंचे तो डिवोटीज ने देखा कि उनकी तो ऑलरेडी आईज कार्व की हुई हैं। तो उन्होंने स्थापति को फोन करके पूछा कि ये क्या? तो उन्होंने बोला कि वो स्थापति थे, वो स्थापना करते थे डीटीज की। तो उन्होंने कहा कि मैं तो मैंने प्राण प्रतिष्ठा कर दी थी, आप क्या बात करते हो, मैंने डीटी ऐसे ही थोड़ी ना छोड़ी है, मैंने उनके नयन संस्कार, प्राण प्रतिष्ठा सब कर दिया है, तो ये नरसिंह भगवान हैं। तब डिवोटीज को समझ आया कि ये जो प्राण प्रतिष्ठा कर दी तो ये तो नरसिंह भगवान है। तो नरसिंह भगवान हैं तभी तो सारा काम बिना ऑब्स्टेकल के हो गया। जैसे जाते गए हर एक स्टेशन पे जब किसी ने खोला ट्रक, तो उसको तो नरसिंह भगवान दिखते थे, वो नरसिंह भगवान को देख के ही थर थर कांपते हुए अपना जाने देते थे आगे. So it was not just a मूर्ति, this is नरसिंह भगवान himself. प्राण प्रतिष्ठा हो चुकी है. So then they installed him on the altar और बहुत celebrations हुई. And then the question came, तो इस तरीके से उग्र नरसिंह came to मायापुर धाम. तो इतना काफी ज्यादा पास टाइम्स किए नरसिंह भगवान ने, लेकिन इतना लीला के बाद he appeared in नरसिंह इन मायापुर धाम. तो फिर ये क्वेश्चन आया कि इनकी पूजा कौन करेगा, राइट? क्योंकि पूजा करने को कोई रेडी नहीं. अब उन्होंने सबने डिस्कस किया और शास्त्रास में से अच्छे से देखा, तो ये डिसाइड हुआ कि इनकी पूजा, उग्र नरसिम्हा की पूजा कैन ओनली बी डन बाय अ नैष्टिकी ब्रह्मचारी, जो हमेशा से ब्रह्मचारी हो. ऐसे 3-4 लोग ही आइडेंटिफाई हो पाए जो ब्रह्मचारी हैं, हमेशा से जिन्होंने ब्रह्मचर्य पालन किया है. सो 3-4 ही लोग थे, सब लोगों ने हाथ खड़े कर दिए, हम तो नहीं कर सकते, हम नहीं करेंगे उग्र नरसिम्हा की पूजा, वी आर नॉट केपेबल, प्लीज डोंट गिव अस दिस रिस्पॉन्सिबिलिटी. तो अब जो हमारे beloved his grace पंकज आंग्री प्रभु, you can see him in this picture, in the previous picture, and I think I may have more pictures. So they are the two transcendental twins. This is his grace Pankaj Angri Prabhu and Jananivas Prabhu, right? Pankaj Angri Prabhu was worshipping Narsingh Bhagwan, right? तो उनको फिर बोला गया कि आप करिए, तो उन्होंने बोला कि देखो मैं भी नहीं कर सकता, आई एम नॉट केपेबल. तो ये एक्चुअली मैंने पंकज आंग्री प्रभु के ही, उनके ही लेक्चर्स में से सुना था ये सब. तो उन्होंने बोला कि ऐसा बोला जाता है कि मैंने एकदम से हाँ कर दी, लेकिन मैंने तो बिल्कुल मना कर दिया था. एंड देन उन्होंने कहा कि अच्छा अच्छा अपने राउंड्स चैंट करते हो? मैंने कहा हाँ. अपना ब्रह्मचर्य पालन करते हो, 4 रेगुलेटिव प्रिंसिपल्स फॉलो करते हो? मैंने कहा हाँ. तो उन्होंने कहा अच्छा 2 दिन सोच लो, पर उसके बाद तुम नरसिंह भगवान की पूजा करोगे. तो कहते इस तरीके से आई वाज असाइन्ड नरसिंह भगवान वर्शिप. And as you know, he was worshipping Narsingh Bhagwan very sincerely for many years. And then last year, he wrapped up his pastimes, and Narsingh Bhagwan took him with him. But these are the two transcendental twins, Jananivas Prabhu and His Grace Pankaj Angri Prabhu, who was engaged in the worship of Ugra Narsimha, you can see. And so I'll stop here because there is much more to be said about Narsingh Bhagwan of Ugra Narsimha of Mayapur Dham. There are so many pastimes of Ugra Narsimha, many sweet pastimes, many beautiful sweet pastimes of the Mayapur devotees with the Ugra Narsimha of the Mayapur Dham. We may call him Ugra, or Sthanu. Sthanu Narsimha is the one he's a Sthanu Ugra Narsimha. Ugra matlab ferocious, Sthanu meaning the one who is ready to pounce. He's in standing form. He's not sitting down. He's standing, and he's come out from the column and ready to pounce on Hiranyakashipu, right? His eyes are looking everywhere. कहाँ है ये demon? उसको मैं छोड़ूंगा नहीं. That is Sthanu Ugra Narsimha. तो है स्थानु उग्र नरसिम्हा, लेकिन उनके बहुत स्वीट पास टाइम्स भी हैं मायापुर धाम के डिवोटीज के साथ. That I also heard from Pankaj Angri Prabhu's lecture. But this was the appearance, how he appeared in Mayapur Dham, and is still protecting the Dham. And since then, none of those atrocities happened again by his mercy. Thank you everyone for listening patiently. I'm sorry for exceeding the time. Hare Krishna.